If we do not defend, demand, and exercise our personal freedoms, then they very well may be taken from us. If that ever happens, how will we get them back? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, day number 2, a Torah portion, Bo. Now, the opening statement is not meant to be heard politically, but rather spiritually. Once we yield our worship rights, once they're taken from us, how will we worship? Moshe and Aaron are standing now in Pharaoh's court. They're seeing that this is more than a human contest or wrestling match of wills, but rather it is a spiritual battle. And there's a wrestling, or as I said yesterday, a wrestling and the spirit going on. Yah's words to Pharaoh are consistent and constant. Let my people go, that they may worship me. Now, while it is true that there are those that have persevered and overcome times of being even slaves and shackled and imprisoned, and they've worshiped nonetheless, there is a level of freedom and liberty that Yah wants to give us so that we can dance with our feet and lift our hands and rejoice before Him. There is an ability among mankind that when they are free, they're not encumbered by the legalisms of man, that they worship with a pure heart. Yah wants to give that to us. Let my people go. Let them out of here so that they may worship me. He says, Pharaoh, if you fail to do so, I will send a wave of locusts upon your land, and they will consume everything. Now, we understand that earlier the barley and flax had already been in the field, and they were destroyed by the hail that fell. Now we're in the season of wheat and spelt. They're now in a harvest time. We're approaching then Shavuot, the season of the harvest of the wheat crop. And the threat is that these locusts will come through. They will eat everything that is above the ground. They will destroy all the fruit trees. Anything that is green will be consumed. What happens when there is nothing green to exchange the carbon monoxide that we exhale back into oxygen? What are we going to do? The very air that is surrounding us then will become toxic and poisonous. Yah's threat with the locust plague is more than just a wave of an army coming and eating everything. We're talking about starvation, and we're talking about a pollution that will kill very many people. Moshe and Aaron are serious about this, and Yah is ready to send this wave of locusts in. Now, I find it interesting that in the book of Revelation, chapter number 9, that there are demons that are unleashed, and they torment men. In Hebrew, the word for demons is shadim. In Hebrew thought, these beings are neither angelic or messenger-style beings, neither are they human, but they're somewhere in the limbo in between. The deep rabbinical thoughts say that these beings, whatever they are, however they are to operate, that they feed on the smoke of illicit offerings and sacrifices to idols. So when we glorify our idols, when we lift them up, when we magnify that which is in the very face of Yah, we're empowering demons to actually operate against us. Again, in the book of Revelation, these demonic things that are unleashed, they're given 5 months of authority to torment men in the earth. What's interesting here, this is the time between the beginning of Aviv, the Hebrew month of Aviv, where we begin to celebrate Pesach or Passover. That's the first feast of the 7-feast season. The 7th feast is in the month of Tishri, the beginning of Tishri. And that would be the Feast of Trumpets. So that's 5 months of an interim. Could it be then that we're seeing that these things are going to torment us from Passover until trumpets? And why is that significant? Passover is the deliverance of Yah's people. Passover is the setting apart of the firstborn priesthood. Passover is about the Passover lamb and the completed work of Messiah Yeshua to redeem his people. Trumpets, that is taking place the first day of Tishri, that's to celebrate the coronation of the king. So we're going from the lamb that was offered to the lion who returns. We're going the complete revelation of Yeshua, who is Messiah ben Joseph, the servant Messiah, to the revelation of Yeshua, Messiah, the son of David, the kingly Messiah. So this is the completion of Revelation. But those that refuse to see it, that are as stubborn as Pharaoh on his throne, they are tormented, they are devoured, they are overwhelmed, and they scream out in their agony. Let's understand this. Moshe says, "Let my people go, that they may serve Yahweh." Pharaoh begins to wrinkle here a little bit, and it looks like he's looking for a compromise. In chapter number 10 of the book of Shemot or Exodus, it says that Moshe and Aaron were brought back in. So he rejected the offer initially. Now they're brought back in. Pharaoh says to them, "Go serve Yahweh your Elohim." Now, who is going? Moshe says, "We are going with our young and our old, our sons and our daughters, with our flocks and our herds we're going. We have a festival to Yahweh." Pharaoh barks at this. He says, no, you better count yourself lucky if you get out of here like that. That's not happening. You men go. That's what you want. You let the men go and do their thing, knowing that if the women and the children and their livestock were still there in Mitzrayim, that they wouldn't go but so far and then they would come back. Let's understand this. It's still about the children. Those who rule over us, they want the children. As long as they have the children, they will have the families, they will have the parents and the adults. Many years ago, Hillary Clinton says it takes a global village to raise a child. Michelle Obama said that she wanted to reconstitute the school lunch program because she knew better what our children needed to eat than what we as parents would choose. Didn't work out too well. We have the educators who are saying to us, we have the right, we have the necessity of teaching your children about what gender they are. We need to liberate them from old-fashioned ideas where there's only male and female. And one can't simply look at their physical genetics and say, well, you're a boy or you're a girl. We need to give them the choice and the opportunity to explore with their mind and with their feelings and with their options what it is that they are going to call themselves. And it needs to be fluid. They may be a girl today and a boy tomorrow. We just need to let them know that. How insane. They want to teach our children. They want to brainwash our children. And I'm on a thin line here. But they want the children, if they can take the generations, then they can capture the heart and the soul of the nation. We've already surrendered too many generations to ludicrous thought and to insane ideas. And yet it's the same as with Pharaoh. It's demons hiding behind the bush here. We need to rise up and protect our families and demand our freedoms, defend our freedoms to worship Yah, to acknowledge Him and live according to His word the way we know must be done. If we don't, that'll be gone. We may never get it back. More tomorrow. Till then, shalom.